Welcome to Mobile Armor Radio, the podcast for all things Mecha. Jumpship incoming.
All right. Welcome to Mobile Armor Radio. I am your host, Chopper, today, and I'm joined with Rob and Bryan from regular fame, as you know.
Regular fame.
Staple of the show. Never miss a beat. Always there. Season 5, episode 4. We're continuing on. Rob shakes his head like he doesn't understand, but he knows.
Episode 64.
Yes. Recording 64, episode 4 of season 5. Yeah. So here we are again.
It's the worst intro ever.
Is it going to be the musical episode?
I was going to sing, but
Here we are.
I was going to sing, and I had a whole theme song ready, but Rob is
Shot down.
yeah.
We don't want copyright infringements.
There's no copyright. These are all originals, buddy.
Copyright.
I'm pretty sure that was Cher you were singing.
No. That was for the test.
Yeah.
But,
I was doing Queen.
so for the show, originals 100%.
Yes.
No originals.
So we'll save that for when Rob's the host, and we'll bust out in the song. We'll have if Strange New Worlds can do a musical episode, we can definitely do a musical episode.
I blame Buffy.
Buffett. I don't think they started that though. Did
No, I mean, like Moonlighting. Didn't they have?
Oh yeah.
With Bruce Willis, didn't they have a musical episode?
I think they did too. I think even Happy Days might have had a musical episode.
There's a lot of them, I think, that did.
Yeah.
Well, the Buffy one was in universe where it was like something happened to cause them to be.
Yeah.
Just
And
like
then
Strange
Scrubs
New
did it
Worlds.
too.
Yeah. And
It's a plague on
then-
our society.
then Glee ruined it for the world.
Well, the whole show is just that, isn't it?
That's what I'm saying. Ruined it for the whole world.
I've never seen the episode, thank God.
I've seen clips, but on YouTube or shorts or reels or TikToks, whatever you want to
You
call
watched them all.
them. Yes. Because I need dance moves. All right. That being said, let's move on to the dropship.
Oh.
Dropship landing.
All right. Welcome to the dropship. This episode's what? Did I say that wrong?
Dropship. You've been drinking, haven't you?
I've been drinking. Welcome to the dropship. This week's.
You can still fight when you're drunk.
That's correct. This month's dropship has been brought to you by the Madness of JBR. Join the Madness of JBR. Visit patreon.com/JohnBearRoss or search for John Bear Ross on Tribes at mymanufactory.com. You get one full-size 28mm mech per month and more.
And more.
Yeah, October's month, I'm showing it right now on the screen, is it's his Gigante, the giant one, but it's
Not the wrestler.
was there a wrestler called Gigante? But this thing
Gigante.
has he's got tracks, so it's like a four tracked instead of legs. He's got tracks. It looks awesome.
Ooh.
I can't
Are they,
wait to print it.
Triangle tracks or oval tracks?
Oblong. I didn't understand the question, but anyways, it's on the screen now.
Yeah, see, Bryan knows.
They go like
the tracks
this?
are a triangle,
Or are they?
They're more like that, Brian. Yes.
Okay. They're like a hot dog.
All right, thanks for
Yes.
being the interpreter.
Oblong.
Thanks for being the interpreter, Brian.
Not a. You said
got
circle,
you.
didn't you? Anyways, it
All
looks
right,
cool.
so let's see what's happening on the hobby tables. Rob, why don't you start us off?
Well, for once, I haven't really done much. I printed a few Battletech mechs, I think, in small scale. Let me see. I printed one of these. I printed these guys. And they're green, so it'll work great for my green screen.
You got translucent green.
They're invisible.
They're from
Optic camouflage.
It's camouflage. Oh my God, that one's got cloaking device.
Ooh, there he goes. From a Patreon called man, I wish I knew. I could look it up, but unfortunately I lost my hard drive, so I don't know where it is. Vox something. Anyways, they're very good. I'll put the link in the show notes. They're cool. One was a fire starter, and I forget what the other one was because I forget. awesome, maybe.
Nice.
Anyways, yeah, that's all I've done. I haven't done much because
Printed, huh?
I just printed those 2 things. I haven't for once. I didn't print a lot this month. I haven't done much. I'm trying to think if I printed anything.
Everyone needs a break every once in a while.
I printed some Mantic stuff from the vault, but none of that's mechs yet, unfortunately.
All right.
Not yet.
All right. Well, then this may be a quick dropship. Brian, what do you got going?
Yeah, not a whole lot in the mech realm, though. I have been printing off some spaceships for scenery purposes, and I've got I think I talked previously about the Corvus Games terrain, like the light frigate or light freighter that he's got, that I've finally finished printing it. It's a nice sizable piece. And then there's this other one that I've got that's from I think it's Second Dynasty. On my mini factory, they had one they called the Arrowhead or Arrow Starfighter. Basically, it's an off-brand A-wing, but it's a bunch of those open lock kits, and basically it kind of all comes together in a fun little A. And I'm actually printing off a second one because it looks pretty sharp, and it came together really nice. And since my printer is actually working for once, but otherwise been painting up some Dead Zone minis. I got a tournament coming up, so I want to make sure I've got guys that are table ready for that.
Yeah, it's coming quick, right?
Yeah, 2 weeks, I think, right?
Yeah, so when this episode drops, it'll be
the
Saturday.
Yeah.
Well, if anybody's
it drops on the 1st.
Where is it, in Lansing? Where is it?
Yeah, it's in Lansing.
So if anybody's in Lansing, Michigan, on the what's the date?
August
it's the
6th through the 8th, I think.
October.
August
6th to the 8th.
You're gonna have to go back in time.
Yeah, so if you catch us early, you can go to Lansing, Michigan, if you're in the area, and go bother Brian.
Yeah.
I'll be there too.
And
Pat. Oh, they're both of them.
You could bother Pat too.
2/3.
Yeah, actually Saturday I'll be helping out with the booth, so come by and play some Dead Zone or a bunch of other games. I'm sure we'll have out there.
Buy some mechs from Mantic. I'm sure there'll be some.
That's correct.
There's that new mechanized combat, the new way to play Firefight. So
is that book out?
The book is out.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll have some at the booth.
Nice.
Sweet. Awesome.
So you've been working on a tournament, is what you're working on.
I've been kind of gearing up for a tournament. It actually hasn't been as crazy as some previous ones because I've retained a lot of the terrain that I put together.
Well,
you didn't have to do it all.
Once you get to terrain, it makes it so much easier.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for Adepticon, you were just printing to the last second, right? You're just printing so much stuff.
I was printing, I was painting, and dry brush, like all that kind of stuff. But I have been kind of building out my hobby space a bit more. I actually now have an Army Painter wet palette as well to go with kind of my travel one that I got, and I just happened to get a nice little like what you call it, like a food tray, like a little folding table thing that I can take around with me, nice and light, and I can set that up where I'm like on the couch and I can be painting while watching a movie or show or something like that. So
nice.
Yeah, it's good.
Making it a bit more mobile, and just like our armored radio.
It's all themed.
How about you, Pat? What do you have going on?
Not also like Rob, not too much. I did work a little bit more on the Nijong. It's mostly airbrush work at this point. Once I get one layer down, I have to spray it, and then I have to let it wait and then dry. And then usually when I'm waiting for something to dry, I forget to go back downstairs. And
you fall asleep.
Or something else comes up, and I just don't go back down there. But I did get that. Did post it in the Mobile Arm Radio. I got the Battlestar Galactica spaceship game, the old one from 84 or 85, I think it was.
Is it FASA?
Yeah, by FASA.
Yeah.
And
I didn't even know that existed.
So I've been looking online and getting some STLs for some 3D prints of the Vipers.
I thought you were going to
And
use the ones you have from the Ares game.
I think I'm gonna do both because it doesn't cost much to print.
You got to get the scale right. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, I have a Mega Hex map, and I'm gonna use the hex spaces that came with some of my Cav stuff, and make stands out of those, and we could play that game with actual 3D ships instead of kits like were so prevalent in the 80s.
Yeah, bro, this
Chip
was
games.
like early 80. What was it? 82 or 83 that came out?
Yeah,
It was like one of
So-
Fast's first games. I was amazed.
yeah, it's and I'm surprised it slipped through me in my years of geekdom.
They must not have had the license for very long.
No, I don't think they did because well, the show only lasted a year, anyways.
Yeah, for our newer
That's
listeners,
true.
this is the original Battlestar, not the remake.
1978. Yeah, the 1978.
Not
And
even
that's
so-
because Battlestar Galactica 1980 or whatever
that's
the
right.
heck that
Yeah,
the
and
sequel show was.
one of the reasons I'm also looking at some 3D printing is because it's they have 3 different marked versions of the Vipers and the Silent Raiders.
Nice.
If you're a fan of the old show, the Mark Ones are the traditional Viper that you saw, which I think they called them. Oh, they were Mark Ones in the remake too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But and the Silent Raider from the original show is the Mark One, and then according to the Ares game, the Mark Two is a different version that I got also. So I'm looking at that, and according to the fastest thing, the Mark III Silent Raider is more of a bomber than it is like it's covered in missile racks.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm sure it's different from the ones
The
that they
TV
did.
show,
in the,
because
yeah,
I mean
new
the
one.
TV show around a year, so they took some licensing
Yeah.
and
Liberties.
of course, then the Reimagine changed everything around and
Mhm.
things like that. So I've been looking to print those up and get that going.
Yeah,
but-
the Ares game is based on the new one anyway, so it
Yes.
has a lot of newer stuff, not the old stuff like that'd be in that game.
Yeah. So I've been doing that, working on the Zhong. I mean, my goal is to get that Zhong done, but it's the airbrushing part that just keeps slowing me down. I mean, I could have snapped this thing together in a
Yeah,
week. But the painting seems to slow me down, and it's been kind of humid lately because it's been raining a lot. So the paint gets a little gummy and takes forever to dry down in my basement. So
Yeah.
that's what's been slow. But that's all I got for Dropship. I have not done much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think my
It's
next
that time of year.
well, no, my next project is I'm waiting for the Cav to get the new Cav rules and stuff, so I can make a new army. Seeing as my army just disappeared,
Oh no.
Yep. They're no
but
longer.
it hasn't disappeared from my heart, John. It's still right here.
Yeah, that's right. If you're listening, you hurt
In our hearts and
Pat
our minds.
mortally.
So yeah, that's it. So
Cool.
yeah, all right.
All right then.
All right then. I mean, if you guys are working on anything cool, put it in the comments. Let's
Yeah.
chit chat, things like that. Post your pictures of anything you're working on. I would love to see what people are doing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Honestly,
we got a lot of posts of like, especially in the Facebook, we have a lot of people talking about different games or whatever. But we'd like to see what you're actually working on. It'd be cool.
Yeah,
Any
that'd
model
be great.
kits or
Some works in progress are always kind of fun to check out, and especially for those that are kind of either newer to the hobby or like, what's it like painting a Gundam model kit
Yeah.
as opposed to just snapping them together.
or even painting mechs if you're new to Battletech. Just post what you got. If you have questions, people will talk to you.
Yeah,
very friendly, open community.
yeah,
Very good with their advice with painting and stuff. So
yep,
Yeah.
for sure.
don't be afraid to post what you got. If you think you're not good, post it anyways. No one's gonna make fun of you.
People will give you
Or
suggestions.
send it directly to us, and then we will tell you, and then we will
Yeah.
post it on your back.
We can post it anonymously.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. So, all right. Well, let's close out the dropship. Let's move on to ComStar.
Sounds good.
Message from ComStar.
All right. Welcome to ComStar. Here we are. Let's talk about stuff.
Stock about stuff.
Let's talk about stuff. You've been here before. This is all about books, TVs, comics, vidya games. Why don't you start us off there, Brian?
Well, so I think the big thing for me was actually that at the beginning of September, I actually went on a trip to Florida to visit kind of the Disneyland and Universal Studios and stuff like that.
Did you fly the Millennium Falcon?
I did.
Oh,
Yes.
So I did the Rise of the Resistance ride and the Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run, and the Pandora rite of passage thing.
Oh.
Which was really fun.
Did you build a lightsaber?
I did not build a lightsaber.
That costs a lot of money.
Because they're a little expensive.
They're like freaking expensive.
We did actually, however, build a droid.
No, there you go.
Which is about half the price, but still kind of fun.
Did you build a BB-8?
No, we went with the C model, which is a newer one. For those that are Rebels fans, that's what Chopper is.
Yes.
So really?
It's the squat little ones, with the more kind of square flat top.
Yeah.
And
I might build a droid.
it was actually kind of a fun time. Like it's pretty simple and straightforward.
Yeah. I have 2 lightsabers already as it is. I don't think I need a third one.
Yeah. You always want to buy a third one, Pat.
It's been kind of fun because it got my wife into Star Wars, watching the Ahsoka show and stuff like that, and so I went through Rebels and everything, and she really geeked out about the droid, especially since it sounds like Chopper right from the show.
Oh, does it? That's fun.
She's like, our little war criminal. It's great. But I will say, like, one other kind of fun aspect, and this is like there's like this level of nerd that's kind of absurd. While I was going through these things, because obviously when you're going on these rides, you're spending a lot of time just waiting in line, but they have like scenery and stuff that you're walking through, right? So I took a bunch of pictures of like, oh, this is like what a sci-fi looking door should look like. You know, I'm taking pictures of the Avatar laboratory and
paint ideas,
silly stuff like, oh, this is what a good gangplank would look like. You know, just a grating on the floor of a laboratory, and just weird pictures like that. Like, oh man, this wall.
Like, I'm gonna tell you right now, it's not that weird. It's really not that weird because, as you know, my wife's an artist.
Yeah.
And when we're out and about, she'll see something, she'll be like, oh, that's a great texture. And she'll take a picture of the texture so she could recreate it when she does her scenic work.
Yeah. Oh,
for set design and stuff.
All the time, so it's not so weird for me.
Okay. But yeah, so that was one thing I found myself doing, is like, you know, I love the paint scheme on this spaceship. I don't, you know, it's a cool spaceship, but like, look at how it's painted. Like, oh, that's perfect.
That's not unheard of. I mean, I would probably do the same thing.
That's awesome.
But yeah, it was a whole lot of fun, and that was definitely the lion's share of like my media consumption, because then I came back and it was like, oh gosh, I have so much work I need to get done.
Yeah, catch up on everything.
Yeah, to catch up, because I was in Florida for a full week, and it was a, you know, I'm leaving my laptop behind.
Yeah, nice.
No work is going to intrude on this vacation, and so came back and it's like, oh gosh, what fires did I put out?
Yeah, no worries.
Oh, the whole place burned down.
Yeah.
So your ComStar is like our Dropship.
A little bit, but yeah, otherwise I'm trying to think if there hasn't been, because I really didn't have a lot of time to play games or anything like that on top of it. So, and I've been reading fantasy books to try and work through some of the backlog I got. But yeah, so that's kind of what I was doing for the month.
That's not bad. It's a lot better than what we've been doing. Well, little things. First of all, there's a big thing that came out is MechWarrior 5 is Clans has been announced, which it's not really expansion.
Renounced or announced?
Announced. Did they say renounced?
Okay, you did say renounced. I was like, what? They're not going to put it out now?
No, this is the new MechWarrior. They don't. It's not expansions. That's not the way how they do them. It's actually a full new game that's going to be coming out in 2025. I think they said it for.
Okay.
Oh, so it's not going to add to the.
No, that's not the way how MechWarrior games do it. They do like they do a bunch of DLCs.
That's how MechWarrior games do it.
They do all their DLCs, and then they have MechWarrior, like in the past they've done like MechWarrior 4 or something else, like, you know. They do that all the time. It's just the way they do it for some reason because they're Microsoft. So.
Got it.
But so that's exciting. I know Pat's excited to play the clans, but maybe you get to play against the clans too, so you can blow them up.
I mean, if you get it and you want to play, I'll be your wingman.
I really enjoy MechWarrior 5, so I think
I'll be your Huckleberry.
I mean, I enjoy MechWarrior 5 when we play as a group, but when I play by myself, I don't nearly enjoy it as much, honestly.
Well, because mostly the AI is for your teammates is ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, that's mainly what it is. It's just so they're just so ridiculously stupid.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I've been playing. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just going to do a segue. I was going to say, speaking of which, of stupid AI, I've been playing Starfield too. So,
did you break down on it?
Yeah, because I got the Game Pass, and it was like $12 or something for the first month for the Microsoft Game Pass. So I was like, yeah, screw it, I'll try it. So I've been playing that.
So you have to get the Microsoft Game Pass to play that game.
No, you don't have to, but you can.
It's just cheaper if you get it.
Yeah, otherwise it's $80 or whatever. I'm not paying $80 for it. I'll pay the monthly fee instead, which right now is only $12. Like I said, I think it goes up to like $50 or something next month, but whatever. Yeah, so it's fun. But the AI, once again, it's a Bethesda game, so the AI is not the smartest. So you get your enemy AI seems very smart, but your friendly AI is they can't hit the broadside of a barn.
Now that you're playing it, I might have to get it then.
Yeah, it's fun. It's all right. It's a Bethesda game. It's very much like Fallout 4 or any of those games. So it's just in space. It's fun.
But you can make ships, right?
You can make ships eventually. Yeah.
Because I think I texted you saying that maybe you should think about getting the game because didn't they make the Rocinante or something?
No, they made they're making Cylon Raiders or something like that. You liked
something, and I said we should make the Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah,
I saw somebody make a cheeseburger out of it.
Oh yeah,
you're making a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it's weird shapes. I think I'm not sure how accurate you could do, but it's alright. I haven't made any ships yet.
We should make the Spelljammer Manta ship.
See, I don't know if you can get. I don't think you can do that kind of stuff. It's not that advanced.
Not with that kind of attitude.
Probably with mods. There's a lot of modders doing, because that's another beautiful thing about Bethesda games. You can always mod them, so they might be doing stuff like that. The main thing I did, I watched on Netflix Mech Cadets. We talked about the trailer coming out. I finally watched the first full season. I read the comic book back in the day, so it was very similar. But it was fun. It's definitely in for a more younger audience, but it was pretty good. Sure. Like they toned down on the. There were some deaths, but it wasn't graphic deaths. So, but it was fun. Yeah. So if you like kids piloting sentient mecha that protect the Earth from weird, like, I guess they're kind of like crustacean monsters. It's pretty fun, and you know what the real thing is? Friendship. It's all about friendship. It's the friends. It's the friends we made along the way.
It's true.
You think they should just start from that point? It's like we should just start being friends right away, and we'll have the answer at the beginning of the show.
Amazingly, actually, unlike a lot of the tropes, it wasn't like the whole, like, it's about young kid who's like a janitor who ends up with one of these mechs, so he has to join the crew. But he usually it would be like all of them hate him, and he has to make friends with all. But mostly it was only one person hate him. The rest of them were like, okay, you're a friend now. So it was actually it was a little good that way. But it was fun. It's it's a fun little story. Other than that, just been reading a lot of Battletech books. I'm still in the Dark Age, which is hurting my soul. But I think I'm almost halfway through. So
hurting my soul.
It's getting it. Some are really good, some are really bad. So it's hit and miss. Yeah, that's about it. I don't think I've done anything else. I don't think so. I think that's it.
It kind of reminded me of a couple other kind of newsworthy things. There's the new for Cyberpunk 2077. They had their new DLC drop, which is the
Phantom Liberty.
Phantom Liberty. But with it, they have the new like 2.0 download for the game, which kind of, from what I understand, really revamps.
Yeah, it's a totally different game.
Engine.
Yeah.
And that's free to download, so that's pretty cool. At some point, I'll get around to starting a new game in that again.
Yeah.
And then the other kind of news thing was that I didn't delve too deep into it, but I heard that the Titanfall 2 servers had come back up online.
They fix all the cheaters?
Maybe. I don't know about that. But they had gone offline with the seeming like the company was shutting down, just shuttering everything, which is kind of sad because Titanfall is a really solid game and a franchise that has got legs to it yet, and so there's a lot of hope that this might mean that maybe Titanfall 3 is in the future. So fingers crossed. I'd love to see a Titanfall 3.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever played I don't think I finished Titanfall 2.
2's got a pretty fascinating single player campaign,
which was much better than the Titanfall 1.
Which had no single player.
Yeah,
well, it had a very small.
It had a training. Single player.
That's why I don't think I ever got into Titanfall, because I'm a single player kind of guy, and I never 1 didn't have any single player, so I never really thought about 2 having a single player. So I might have to check that out.
It's pretty good.
If it's on Steam, I might have to look at it. After I play Starfield and Phantom Liberty, so that'll be a while.
Right.
All right. Well, I guess for me, on Rob's recommendation, I started watching Mech Cadets.
Oh, did you watch?
Not all of it. I
you still watched all of the Pacific Rim Black. You haven't watched all of it.
Oh no, I finished that.
Did you finish it?
I haven't finished
because I started watching Mega. I go, oh fuck, I gotta finish Pacific Black, and then I went back and I finished that, which is all right. But Mechadets, I'm stalling at because, like you said, it's fairly kid central, and it's like watching. For me, it's like watching Teen Titan Go. In a sense, you know what I'm saying, like the attitude or the vibe.
But it's quick. They're only like 20-minute episodes, so
yeah. I mean, I get that. So, but I find myself looking out the window sometimes when I'm watching the show. I'll be like, oh. Is that a dog across the street?
Should I go out and touch grass?
Yeah, I'm like, huh. The wind seems to be picking up.
The wind's howling.
And then I was looking into Starfield because we just talked about it, because I heard people were making Battlestar Galactica stuff and recreating classic ships. So I was like, we should make the Battlestar Galactica. Or Space 1999. I think we could get away with that one. That one's not too hard to make.
Yeah. Size-wise, it would be an issue. But yeah, you probably could do almost exactly what it looks like. Yeah. That one would be easy.
And because you asked me to check out Mech Cadets, this other anime on Netflix caught my attention called Revisions.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I meant to look at that.
Yeah, so it's a weird thing. I didn't get too far into it because I'm not sure I like it. It's got a very hero complexy kind of a thing. Basically, it's these this kid who was kidnapped when he was a baby, and somehow he grows up, and then now he
grows up.
Well, no, he grows
up.
Nature
makes him grow up.
Then him and his friends get basically sucked into something kind of, I forget what they called it, like the something drift, like started with the Shiba drift or something like that. I'd have to go back and look at it again, but they're stuck they get sucked to the future about 300 years. Mm-hmm. And in 300 years it's kind of a wrecked future where the enemy's name is Revisions. Mm-hmm. And they fight everyone using giant mechanical monsters, which is what caught my eye. Was a giant mechanical monster. So I started watching 1 and 2 of that. So, and then the main character, and I forget his name, are fighting to defeat the enemy and try to get back home.
Sounding a lot like Battlestar Galactica, actually.
In a sense. It's a fairly very brand new shoe. From what I understand, it came out in 2019.
Is it Japanese originally, or is it a Netflix original?
Yes, it's Japanese originally. It's I don't even know what it was called.
Probably something in Japanese. Probably revisions in Japanese.
From what I heard, or kind of when I first watched it a couple weeks ago, it was a TV series that aired in Japan.
Is this a series or is it a bunch of movies?
It's a series.
Oh, okay. I don't know if they. Sometimes they convert it like they did Gundam or any of those into movies.
No. No. This is a TV series. So I only got to the second episode, and it's very hero complexy. You know what I'm saying?
We're struggling.
Like an obsessive hero complex. The guy, it's almost like in Titanfall, the one guy that always was gung ho until people started dying. You know what I'm talking about? I can't even remember that guy's name.
I'm thinking of the guy from Fate Stay Night who, like, I have to defend everybody because I'm the hero.
Is it that kind of thing?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah. So and that weighs on me almost as much as in Titanfall, the kid who whined a lot. Did you guys? I'm sure you guys watched Titanfall, right?
Not Titanfall. Yeah, I was gonna say.
Not Titanfall.
You're confusing us again.
Yeah, Attack of the Titans. My bad.
Okay, that makes more sense now. We get it now.
Because we said Titanfall.
Attack on Titans.
Attack on Titan. Yes.
There we go. Okay.
That makes more sense. The hero guy.
Very different show.
Yeah. Titanfall. Yeah. We talked about Titanfall, and I had Titanfall in my brain.
So
there's
really
Titans in both.
That's different when you think about it. They do kind of climb into.
But what killed me about Attack on Titan was the whiny kid, the blonde-haired kid. I can't remember his name, but all he did was whiny complain. Yeah.
Armin.
Oh God, I just hate that character.
I've only seen the first season of the show.
He's the worst.
I have too.
The first season,
I've only seen the first season also.
He's
it's
really
only
bad.
put up on Netflix.
Really? They don't have the whole thing?
That's weird. No, but when I watched it, somewhere else.
Illegally?
Oh. No, I didn't say that. I just said somewhere else.
Somewhere else.
Japan.
But if you kind of like that kind of thing, revisions is all right. It's not as mechy as I thought it was, just because I saw big giant mechanical monsters.
They have quite a few good things on Netflix if you dive into the anime section. There's quite a few weird things I've never heard of, and there's a lot I want to try out. I just never get around to.
A lot of mech stuff I haven't seen either.
There's two, and then, but that's what caught my eye after watching a couple episodes of Mecha. So I started scrolling through it, and I was like, "Oh, this looks really good! Giant mechs," and I got into it, and I was like, "Oh, it's all right."
It's not your giant mechs that you thought.
Yeah, it wasn't as mechy as I thought it'd be.
Yeah, that's probably.
But that's it for my ComStar. I didn't do too much. I just watched a little TV. I didn't read anything, and don't play a lot of mech video games right now because me and Rob have stopped playing Mech Warrior 5 together.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
Because I beat it.
We just did.
I beat it, and then you just never went back to it.
Well, yeah. I mean, after we started playing as a team, I quit playing solo.
Mm-hmm.
And then so.
Yeah, we definitely go back to it. It's a fun game. If I just remember how to play, but
we'll get Bryan in there one day.
Yep.
That way we only have one stupid AI.
We have 3/4 of a lance.
Because I'll just go back to the one time we talked about it in a previous episode. But when we played it, me and you, and that one mission, you just couldn't get by because the stupid AI.
Yeah, we'd actually trick the AI to do things that wouldn't screw up the mission. It's like, stop doing that. Yeah.
So
that's always fun.
Yeah. So it's always better when it's
real people,
live people playing the game. Honestly. Yep. So. All right. Well, that's it for ComStar. That's all I got. I don't have too much.
I have a feeling MechBay will take a little bit longer because we have a lot to talk about.
Yeah. All right.
Now entering the MechBay Hanger.
All right, welcome to the MechBay Hanger. Today's topic of choice is if you were a commander of a mech company, what would be your 5 mechs that you would contain in your, for lack of a better term, Lance, Star, Army, Squad, Platoon,
Fox Force 5,
Fox Force 5, your heavy hitters, go on and on. The only caveat I had, and I don't know why this was vague, but just no super
Well,
super mechas.
Super mechas.
yeah.
Like,
Where does
like
it?
Gurren,
Yeah, but where does it end? How close does it get? Yeah.
super robots. I mean, like Voltron would be considered a super robot.
Oh, I almost picked Voltron. Lucky I did.
Yeah. I almost did too, but then I was thinking, well, it's
that'd be the 5 right there. Yeah.
It's 5 mechs that combine into a bigger one. Like a
so that'd be your whole. That'd be funny if your whole squad was.
Blazing sword.
My first pick is Red Lion. My second pick's Blue Lion. My third pick's Yellow Lion. Wonder where this is going.
When they join forces.
My
last pick is
the left foot of the vehicle mech team.
Constructicons, maybe. We could do the whole. There's 6 of them though. It wouldn't work. We'd be missing a limb.
Yeah. So, all right. Let's start with you again, Brian.
I thought you were gonna start with you. You haven't started.
That's all right. I'm the Horst.
You're the worst.
So,
Yes.
So I built my list around the theme of making sure I pick from different shows or entities while I was putting it together. But definitely top of my list was the Gouf Custom from Mobile Suit Gundam, because that thing is just such a great mech, such a great design.
You just like horns.
The horns are sweet looking, but the armaments too, you can't help but appreciate, just the sheer amount of firepower that thing can dole out, and especially if you got the right pilot behind the controls, that single mech can wipe out a whole squad.
Oh,
so
yeah.
That's my number 1, or first pick, I guess.
First pick.
First pick.
He's
first round draft.
He's going for quite evil. That's what he's going for. From a certain point of view, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, let's go around the corner. So what is your first pick then, Rob?
My first pick, I went small for my first pick because I thought I needed some scouts. So I went for the Tachikoma from Ghost in the Shell.
Oh, nice.
They can turn invisible, which is great. You can have riders in them, and they also have a friendly AI that would keep me company because they're cute, and they'd be all like, it'd be kind of sad he'd be by himself because they're usually in groups, but that's a little Tachikoma that I could ride into, or a scout could ride into and scout ahead because they're invisible, and they have little like spider shots that they can swing around like Spider-Man, and they have pretty good weaponry. They have some good machine guns. It's good for anti-personnel.
Yeah.
But Tachikoma.
And some of them have that little cannon.
That's true. They could shoot little grenades and stuff. Yeah. Yep. So that's my first choice because mostly they can turn invisible. That's pretty good.
So it's strong. Coming out strong.
What about you, Pat? What's your first?
All right. So mine, we're going to go to Cav. Again, this is going to probably be a mech that's around, but was mostly a rock mech, if you're familiar with Cav. It's called
Never heard of them. They don't exist, do they?
Hurtful. But as a big fan of the game, the Voodoo is one of my favorite mechs to field because they're super fast, and they have this really awesome gun called the PBR, and I can't remember what the PBR stands for.
Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Yes. It's armed with subpar beer.
It shoots cans out.
And it just aluminum cans.
Yep.
I mean, that's the VF-1, but we'll get to that later.
But what I love about the PBR is that the closer you get, the more damage it does. So it's very weak from far out. So you combine this with a super fast mech that can run up on you or run by you, and you just and then move on. So it's my fast hitter.
That's makes sense. I like it. I don't drink PBR, but it sounds like a fun mech.
I do love the PBR.
I would like to see you got to get one of these and paint it up like a Pabst Blue Ribbon can now, though.
Oh, see, don't get me started because I have a whole bunch of them. Because like I have a whole squad in the game that's just all voodoos. Well, it's 3 voodoos and I can't remember what the scout's called, but it uses a lot of electronic warfare, so it gives those guys a bunch of pluses to hit.
Nice. There you go.
Very nice.
Voodoo.
Cool.
Back to Bryan.
Back to you, Brian.
All right. My next pick was from the show Code Geass, specifically the Gurren. Now, this is not to be confused with Gurren Lagann. This is the
I was gonna say Gurren Lagann Super Mech.
Yep. This one is not. This is not a super mech. Code Geass is very much kind of real world mechs that eventually become like, doomsday weapons. But the Gurren is piloted by Colin Stadtfeld, and it is a sweet mech that over the course of the show evolves and gets upgraded multiple times, with the final one having a flight pack and I'm forgetting the specific name. There's like an electro field that pulses out of its hand that blows up suits, and it's a wicked fast mech, and it's got skates as well, so it can just cruise on the ground.
Best mechs have skates. Yep.
It's got a boom box, so it can.
But like I gotta say, big props to the final fight that is involved in the show is just one of the most intense duels of mechs in that whole franchise, and she's not even like, she's the number 2 essentially of Lelouch, our main character, so it's fun to have her be kind of the ace pilot.
Is this a good guy mech? It looks pretty evil.
Well, let's just say that Death Note was also the show that was out at the time.
So there's
we were really big into the anti-hero movement, and so there is an aspect of that, but Colin herself was very much a freedom fighter. And
one person's freedom fighter is another's terrorist.
Exactly. Code Geass is a heck of a show, guys.
I gotta check it.
Go watch it.
Yeah,
it's really good. But yeah, so Colin's Gurren.
Back to me, right?
Yep.
My second one is from an anime also. It is from Fang of the Sun Dougram. It's gonna be the Dougram. It's a workhorse.
You love me the Dougram.
It forged a long guerrilla war. I know it's going to be reliable. It's easily repaired out in the fields because there was like 4 people who like were out on the run for a long time in this vehicle. So I know my repair costs wouldn't be great with it, but really it pretty much destroys everything it comes across, which is always funny in the show because literally nothing could stop it. But people keep trying. But I love the design. Obviously, it gets used later for Battletech, but I'm going for the OG. I think I wonder if it's probably about the same size. I was trying to think if it's a different scale. Sometimes when Battletech took them over, the scale changed, but I'm pretty sure it's similar anyways. But yes, Fang of the Sun Dougram, the Dougram.
The Dougram.
With its big shoulder-mounted gun.
Yep.
Patrick?
So I was looking around and I figured it out. PBR stands for particle bolt gun.
Oh,
nice.
I like it less now.
A particle bolt rifle. So my 4th mech that would be part of my school.
Second.
Yeah, I'm going 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
That makes no sense. You're confusing me.
5th position. 4th
position. That's better. It's not your 4th mech. It's
season 3.
Yeah, this guy can't count.
I can count. You just you Canadians got your metrics all backwards. So my 4th pick.
Second pick. 4th mech maybe in your list.
4th mech. It would be.
Well, it confused me
because it's my favorite heavy as a Steiner player.
Assault.
Assault. Oh, it's just right. It's a assault. It's but you
need
a little bit of punch. And as Bryan also chose his list to spin, I did the same thing, but I also kept in mind the physics of those mechs, where they come from. Mm-hmm. Atlas slow and plotting, the Cav fast. So you need a little balance. And so this is the bruiser that comes up after everyone's been weakened and gets pounded.
Yeah, this is a cleanup hitter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just a killer mech. You can't deny the fact that the Atlas is a beast.
Literally a killer mech.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. So Brian, what is your third pick. Oh, you can't go wrong on that.
Exactly. The third one in my list.
Yeah, that's right.
I went Full Metal Panic, and I went the Arbalest. Kind of tying into something you mentioned earlier, Rob, this suit does have a cloaking device.
Right, there you go. Need to go invisible.
It also runs around with like a shotgun, so that's always kind of fun, and a knife that's in its teeth, a little bayonet, and but it's very, it's a very much like a workhorse kind of suit. But the Arbalest in particular did have a couple little kind of almost super robot kind of powers to it. Like it had some extra like energy fields it could generate. But otherwise, the show is very grounded with how it works with its mechs. And I thought the Arbalest really, really fits within the list that I had going so far. So
nice. And it doesn't look like evil like your other ones.
No.
It doesn't fit in with the aesthetics, but still.
How about you, Rob? What's next?
For me, my third one he's a big boy, but he's Jetfire from or Skyfire. Matt, how would you want to talk about him? Probably more Skyfire, because Jetfire is more like a Veritech, where Skyfire is more the Transformers version. But he's a guy who can transform into a giant plane. And due to mass shifting in Transformers, he transforms into a giant plane that is quite large. It can actually hold other Transformers inside. So for me, it would be like a whole base. So pretty much he's a base for me. And so he's a scientist, so that'll help. He's also an extra set of hands, and my second AI on the list. So I guess I just like to have friends around me.
You just like having competent AI around.
That's right. But yeah, so mostly he's a good transport because he's a starship / giant jet. So it'd be
nice.
It's like having your own dropship that transforms into a robot. So that's what's missing from Battletech right there.
Transforms into a friend.
Lamb dropships. I think that's what they missed.
Because as we learned in Mech Cadet,
friendship. Yep, friendship's number one.
The day.
That's right.
Friendship's number one.
So there you go.
How about you, Pat? What's number 3?
My number 3 is the original Gundam, the RX
basic bitch
2. I picked him because, again, I was thinking of physics. What I needed is a little bit of agility, and the RX-78 was an agile mech back in the day.
It is. Once again,
I need a dancer.
Once again, nothing could stop him either. So he just destroyed everything. So
I needed a dancer.
Does it come with?
He took some hits though. He took some hits though.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Eventually, he loses some limbs and things.
Then he threw their shield at him or kicked him in the face.
Does it come with the little jet fighter inside too?
The core fighter?
The core fighter?
I don't know. I don't know if I was going to include the core fighter because the core fighter was
part of it.
It was part of the kit when he got it, right? It was on the ship.
Oh, the core fighter is part of the Gundam, so.
Yeah.
They had it built in, yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking back to the old cartoon. Was it on the ship when they had it? When they moved the Gundam on the ship?
No, I think it was.
When he got it?
I think it was just built in, wasn't it? I think so.
No, because he fits into the core fighter.
Yeah, the core fighter is inside of him. He eats it. Nom nom nom. Anyways.
I can't remember which came first.
It's been a long time since I watched the original Gundam, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's go on to the next choice. Brian, what do you got?
All right. So, over on the Macross front, I'd be remiss if I didn't expand into that space. And I got to say, the YF-19 from Macross Plus is just such a cool mech.
It's like
my guys need a little flight assistance, some air superiority, and those inverted wings flying around, man.
He's like the fancy version of a Veritech or a Valkyrie.
Yeah, it's the next stage, really.
It is.
Even in like Macross terms, it was kind of the next experimental line, and some of the other hero pilots in Macross took up that mantle afterwards. Though I think the other one in the Macross Plus like show, the YF-21, I think is actually what won the day officially as far as production goes. Yeah, the 19 is just a cool looking jet.
The swept wings. That was all like in the late 80s, early 90s. Swept wing design it's all about the swept wing.
Yep.
It's what was it? Conquest and GI Joe and the.
Yeah. So that's my.
I think
next
all
one.
inspired by the F-14.
I don't know.
The reverse of the F-14.
Maybe.
So.
All right. What's next, Rob?
Rob, what do you got?
Well, I'm sensing a theme in this one actually because my next one is from Mospeada, or Robotech 3 as we like to call it, is the Legioss, which once again it's a Veritech like transforming a plane. I chose the blue version because I like the blue version, but
Blue's good.
Yeah, it's once again a newer version of a Veritech, and it's if you're in the Robotech world. If not, it's a totally different thing if you're in the Mospeada world. But once again, they lived a long time in the field. I know it's you can operate it with a few people, and if you stumble across the other part, I forget what the other part's called, you can build a giant fighter. But otherwise, yeah, it's we all want our transforming plane vehicles that can act as planes and robots. So
you gotta.
Yep, this one is a good one to fly around and scout, and then if you have to fight, you can fight. So that is why I chose the Legioss for mine. All Pat, right. What did you choose?
I stayed in the Macross universe. Much the same as Bryan. I wanted, again, agility, but I also needed air cover. Yeah, so I took the original Veritech VF-1.
Basic bitch again. You just
basic.
We get all.
You can't beat the original, you know.
The picture I chose for you was Roy's because he's got the skull and crossbows on it. So that's cool.
Max is the way better VF-1. and in choosing the Veritech VF-1, it was all Max Sterling in mind because that guy was a dog fighter.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. You don't get the pilot though.
No, I don't. But you know, I could dream. As a mercenary captain, I'm always on the lookout. You know, first round draft picks.
Yep.
Making trades, making money. You know what I'm saying?
Because remember, Rob, his draft went in reverse order.
That is correct.
Yeah. So his second round pick would have been Max Sterling.
Yeah.
So, and you know, you just can't beat the original Veritech.
It is a sweet.
It's classic.
That's where it started. That's for sure. His was blue too. His was blue also.
Yes.
See, the blue one's always better. I'm telling you.
It wasn't. You just picked Roy because of the stupid skull and crossbones.
Yeah, I did, but I picked my Legioss was blue, and you picked blue also. Bryan did not. Bryan picked a kind of off-white. We're back to Bryan.
The Gouf Custom was blue.
That works.
Started us off.
I started blue.
That's
right. You save face.
Yes.
All right, Bryan. What is your number one hitter? What is your leader mech?
So, a weapon to surpass all others, Metal Gear.
I almost picked this actually.
Metal Gear Rex in particular.
Yep.
You know, it's a sweet design. Like it's really fascinating piece of machinery. It's got a whole bunch of armaments for anti-personnel, as well as the ability to launch a nuclear warhead out of its railgun.
Yeah,
which
you had me at railgun.
Sometimes you just need to have.
Sometimes you need atomics.
Biggest gun.
Your mercenary unit is
bring the biggest.
Yeah, your mercenary unit is gonna war crimes. Yeah, you're all about the war crimes.
Piloted by Chopper.
Your mercenary unit's not gonna last long because they'll be brought up on charges.
Yeah.
Yep.
Half of them look like they're fucking monsters, and then.
So yeah, gotta go with Metal Gear, and Rex is my favorite design out of that series. So.
Bryan would be the op force in a anime. He'd be the one that be like, "We must stop these people."
or like the antagonist in Metal Gear.
That's right, anti-heroes.
This weird collection of mercenaries and expats. But Rob, what's next for you?
My last.
What's your number one last pick?
Was already talked about. This is our first and probably only crossover. Was the Atlas, because sometimes bigger is better. That's what I say.
Yeah.
And if you're gonna go,
that's the Steiner war cry. Bigger is better.
Yeah, it's a scout mech. You're right. It's a scout mech. So
bigger is better. Bigger is best. Yeah.
It's also as an iconic. If you're in a mercenary company, you have that big skull on the front of your mech. I think it gets you noticed. So,
or if you have it on your podcast,
it's Halloween and you paint it like a pumpkin jack-o'-lantern.
Oh, that's very timely. But yeah, Atlas. If you're gonna go with a Battletech mech, might as well go with the biggest, the best. Just
that'd be the mech you pilot. That would be your number one choice.
Oh yeah, I would think so. You're gonna be in the one that attracts people's attention, and that would be this bad boy. So there you go. Pat, what is your last one?
My last one, staying in the Battletech world, is probably my favorite mech of all time.
See, I tried to keep this out of it. I tried to keep my feelings out of this, but you were like, I can't help it.
It's not my feelings, but I feel like if I was to command a mech company and I was to pilot a mech, this is the mech I would choose. I don't have to have the best mech.
You didn't
have to have the best team.
You didn't.
I just have the best team. That's all I gotta have is just the best team.
You just like that big dome on the front. You
It's
didn't even say what it is. What is this mech?
It's the Battlemaster.
Yes. Battlemaster with big dome on the front.
Which is also based on a Dougram.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Mech.
That's right. I forgot about that.
So it's maybe I'll take the Dougram version, which makes him almost virtually invulnerable.
No, he'd be much worse because the Dougram would just kill these guys. So take the Battletech version, believe me.
I can't remember which Dougram he is though.
He's not. He's an enemy. He's an enemy to the Dougram. He's a bad guy.
That's right.
So and he died easily. So don't pick him.
That's because you had secondary cast and
no, what you had is plot armor. That's what you had for Dougram.
What will happen is I'm the mercenary commander and it's my book. It'll be upgraded, better armor.
Oh yeah.
More
this isn't in the Battletech world, so yeah, it could be anything. Yeah. It's your ultimate version of the Battlemaster.
But if I was to command a mech and a squad, mine would be the Battlemaster.
And it's the classic version with the big gun in his hand instead of weapon arms and stuff.
I'll shoot it sideways, all gangster style.
Yeah, for sure. What color would it be? That's the question.
It'd be green.
Oh, not blue?
Greenish. No, it'll be a greenish. Maybe some highlights of blue just to appease you, and match Max because Max will be on my team.
Oh, you got to match his hair.
Yeah, me and Max.
Oh, he'd like you because his wife's hair is green.
Oh, see, there you go. I'm done. And then Max might get hurt, and I did get a free pilot because she'd want to come and avenge him.
Or she'd just murder everyone because she's not the most stable human. Not human.
That's true.
Yeah, that's kind of what happens.
Yes, the unstable.
You see that in Macross Frontier, actually.
Zentradi.
Mira is not the Anyways, so there we go. We did it.
All right, so those are the 5. That's for our mech companies.
So please,
mech companies
in the YouTubes or in the Facebooks, please comment on your 5 that would make up a unit for you.
Again,
with
the only
pictures.
caveat: no super mechs.
Well, and yeah,
I'm still surprised no one picked the SDF-1.
I think it's too big.
I think it's in the sense that would be I'd count that as a super mech.
Yeah, that's way too big.
Had a transformer. It's so big.
Yeah, he's not that big. He's not as big as the SDF.
He's not bigger than
he's just a nice ship.
Devastator. You know what I'm saying?
Well, mass shifting is a funny thing. Because Astro Train in the movie, he transforms and all the
Honestly,
Constructicons are inside.
Jetfire's probably the size of an Atlas, if you think about it.
But not when he transforms. That's the beauty of Transformers. He gets bigger.
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
They don't follow the lines of physics. So.
No. Well, the guy's a tape recorder in the giant robot, so how can you work that out?
Who knows? All right.
There you go.
That wraps up the MechBay. Let's head on to the ExFil and jam out.
Jam.
Let's take our mercenary companies out for a run.
Now I want a game that we can all play these guys in.
Let's ExFil out of here.
All right. Welcome to the ExFil. that was our show for this month. Hope you enjoy it. Like we said in the last segment, put down your 5 mechs that you would like to command. It'd be interesting to see who does what, picks what. Maybe there's a mech that we might have missed, and then I'd swap something out. It'd be tough for me to swap any one of those out, but I could do it.
That's the beauty of it. It's your own. It's like a fingerprint. It's your own personal
number
personal
5
group.
As much as I love that mech could be replaced.
Oh,
Number 5 is the cutoff. You know what I'm saying? You get like
your Battlemaster. Battlemaster is number 5.
No, that's number 1.
Let's not get back into
number
this.
So, thanks to John Bear Ross again for sponsoring the show.
Yep.
Love you. Love you, man.
Love you.
Yeah.
So,
like, share, subscribe.
Like, share, subscribe. I got nothing, no witty, no repartee going on right now.
Join our Facebook group. That's where the action happens.
Do all that. Push the buttons. Click the bells. Feel free to comment.
Brian,
stop by and say hi.
You have another. You have another show too. You can promote also, Brian.
Dead Zone the podcast. Is that the show you're talking about?
Sure. See, Pat, you let the poor co-host promote.
I thought he was talking about the Dragon's Tome.
That's our podcast.
Oh, yeah.
He's not on that one.
That's another one.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm on. Let's see, where's my sticker? Dead's on the podcast.
We can...
Anyway,
check out Dead's on the podcast. Check out Dragon's Tome if you're interested in D&D and Dragon Magazine. Dead Zone, big fan of Dead Zone. Check out Dead Zone the podcast. So.
And also, if you're interested in Warzone or also Firefight, there's lots of other games they talk about on Dead Zone the podcast too. So
it's true.
Yep, absolutely.
All those things have mechs in them.
Yep.
True.
Although the new Warzone doesn't have mechs yet, which they only have the people. They don't have the vehicles yet.
Only the peoples.
Oh yeah.
It'll come.
They'll get there.
All right. Well then, let's wrap it up for this month. For the Mobile Arm Radio, I've been your host Chopper.
I'm Ben Bryan.
I'm Rob. Chopper, you're the war crime.
You're the war criminal and all.
I don't know what's going on, but we'll see you guys again next month. Bye-bye.
Right, everybody.
This has been Mobile Armor Radio. Join our Facebook group by searching for Mobile Armor Radio. Find us on Twitter @MArmorRadio. Join us on the 1st of every month for more Mecha discussion.
Can't stop, won't stop, Mobile Armor Radio.
Here we go, Mac. This is the moment.
Stop. Ready?
The ceiling can't hold us.
Editing can. Here we go.